Was that Boogie Nights or was that Last Train to London? Just heading out. Yeah, I'm getting excited about going away for a few days. I know I've just been home for a few days, but when life gives you the opportunity to travel, so funny. I remember talking to my nephew and saying, when opportunity knocks, what do? He said, you slam the door and say, we don't want you. And I said, no, no, no. Learn this from Auntie Beth. When opportunity knocks, you open the door and say, yo, come on in. This is going to be fun. Good morning, Dana Reynolds, and good morning, Janice, and hi, dude, and June, and just Michelle, and Joan, and Abigail, and Barbara. There's my Boston accent. There's no in Barbara. There's one. Mama Chef 86. I love it. I love it. Good morning, everybody. Pamela and Michelle and Eva, and look at me. I'm holding. I always wonder. I gotta totally Google that. Maybe some of you guys know this. Miss Jean, Miss Jean from Romper Room. I remember when she would say everybody's name, she never said mine. I feel like she was holding up like a mirror or something that was like started to be a mirror and then it ended up being like clear or something. Does this ring a bell? I don't know. I'm totally Gen X. I will say that. I am elder Gen X. I'm like a Gen X states person. But that's a thing that has stuck with me, and especially when I just like to say good morning to everybody, because welcome, come on in. There's plenty of seats for everybody. Pretend we're here and, get a seat that's comfortable. Do what's right for you. There we go. Okay. Yes, she had a mirror on a handle like a paddle that was missing the mirror part. Thank you, Michelle. Okay, so I'm not totally losing it here, only partially losing it. So good morning, everybody. Yes, Michelle, I totally got what you were saying, and I appreciate you clarifying. I don't want to say correcting yourself, but clarifying that me, being from New England, being from Massachusetts, and living there for quite a couple of decades, I saw it and I knew a mirror. There we go. Oh, somebody sent me an ice cream cone. I don't even know I see Bobby and Judy and Kathy. Yes, TYAA. I totally. There we go. Okay, so Sue Ann is a baby boomer. I've heard that your generation, now that we're labeling everything and categorizing everything, I've heard anything pre-65 to something is like called Generation Jones, maybe? I don't know. Google it. See what that comes up with. So good morning, folks. Folks who know me, hello, nice to see you again. But for those of you who are just kind of scrolling by on TikTok and coming across this TikTok live, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. So not only do I help you declutter your home, I help you declutter your life because I am a certified life coach and I love helping people with clutter. How do I do this, you may ask? Well, right here. I am here for the next hour or so. And I say or so. Let me just double check I don't have anything major going on. No. I have a nice window of opportunity. So for the next hour, I will be here for you. And my goal, I have a goal with these things. Now, I will be completely transparent. Some of my goals are very, what's that thing, kind of not selfish, but whatever. I would love it if you listen to me and you find what I'm doing is useful and helpful. I would love it if you followed my TikTok page here. Growing the amount of people that follow me allows my message to reach people that don't even know that there's help out there for clutter. So only if you like what if you dig what I'm doing, as I like to say. If you dig what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and why I'm doing that. And yes, TYAA, I also remember Mr. Green Jeans. If you dig what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, I also do paid one-on-one coaching with people. That's my business. Destination Decluttered, DestinationDecluttered.com. And if you're not sure about that yet, which I get it, trust me, you may have just met me, you can sign up for my mailing list. Now, the mailing list, I think, is pretty darn cool, especially, I will say this, and I think you'll kind of get where I'm coming from, especially with all the stuff in the news about TikTok being banned and going away. I don't want to say an exit strategy because boy, do I love hanging out here on TikTok and doing the lives. But I will show up for people that sign up for my mailing list. In the meantime, if this goes dark, I know how to get in touch with the people that really, again, are digging what I'm doing, that have taken that one kind of easy peasy baby step to put your email address into a little form on my, it's all you need is the email address. It's the only little field in the form that I ask you for to sign up for the mailing list. So in case TikTok goes dark, we still have a way of communicating. But the other cool thing is, even if TikTok stays up, people on the mailing list get a month. We have a monthly free Zoom call together. You always get first dibs on everything I do. And I get some free stickers available for people. What else do I have going on? You always know before anybody about all the new stuff that's coming up with Destination Declutter. It's just a nice kind of convenient way to stay in touch. Okay? So that being said, what I do is I show up and I am going to frame everything. Hopefully this is going to be a way that will help decluttering and other stuff make sense to you, because this is how it clicked. It made sense to me, which was I frame everything as a roadmap. Okay, so I'm looking back here at the way things were. We are here on a map. We got to this point today. Every day is today, right? We got here. You are here on a map. You got here a certain way. Before you move ahead, just ask yourself, am I headed in a direction that I'm excited to get to? What is my destination? Am I eagerly moving forward in my life towards things I'm excited to do, even if that's too overwhelming? That's the life coach in me. So I'm always thinking about the bigger picture. If the bigger picture is too overwhelming, we will chunk it down to your house. What do you want your home to look like? What do you want your home to feel like? What do you want your home to function like? Ask those questions and listen for your answers and see what comes up. That's your destination. And there are things you know to do to get there. Do the easy things that are easy for you. The things that aren't easy for you, to get some coaching from me. And we make them more easy. Less difficult, more easy. Okay? I love this. We get the whole Gen X and Boomer generation with Mr. Green Jeans and Captain Kangaroo. How about the new zoo review? Anybody coming right at you? There we go. LG is saying, have you ever thought about training other life coaches and developing a network of counselors? Nope. I mean, I've thought about it. Actually, I have, and it goes, and here's the deal. I think of that idea, I read that, and I determine, and I want to use this as a teaching moment for everybody. This is how I roll, and I want you to learn about it too. I read that, and then I process it in my brain, in my head, and in my heart, and I listen for the responses. And the response to that is kind of either meh or not yay. Oh, tell me more. Did he get very far, right? So no, I haven't. This is why. I have for my life always been responsible for other people. God, I sound like my mother. But I'm the oldest of children. I'm the oldest of two oldest. I was born responsible for other people. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't have kids. I have a life that delights me, that allows me to kind of bop along in the world and do what I want and things like that. So at this part of my life, no. However, I know there's people out there who want about training other life coaches. What I love to do, the thing that excites me the most, is being in direct contact with people, not creating another layer between me and the clients. I love working with my clients one-on-one. That moment of discovery and sharing with them this proven process that I have, and being with them when they're struggling, but loving them so much and knowing that the struggle is just temporary, and then seeing that aha moment when they get it and they're like, wait, it clicked. I got it. I live for that kind of clicked moment. And when they're like, oh, now I want to do this. And that to me is one of my favorite things about doing coaching one-on-one. So I know I kind of went off on that, and LG can't points for trying, points for asking. But my answer is thank you, but no. I love what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, when I'm doing it, the who, what, when, where, and why of what I do. I love. So I'm good, but thank you. All right. All right. What do we got here? Erin, hey there. Nice to see you. I hope you got my message about potty training. I thought that was kind of funny, but that's just me. I cracked myself up. Okay. LG is saying, you have such great marketing. I'd be surprised if you had enough time for all potential one-on-one clients. You know what? I do. I make time for the things that are important to me, and I love my schedule. It is kind of not too much, not too little, Goldilocks, just right. But thank you for thinking of that. Okay, there we go. Teresa, hey Tree, Hey tree, can you unclutter my mind? I can't do it for you, but I can show you how to do it. Yeah. I have had a cluttered mind. I am related to people with cluttered minds. ADHD, anybody? I know what it's like to have a lot of thoughts swirling around in your head. Whoa, and feeling that kind of swirl. I have techniques, I have processes I can share you. First thing I want to offer is to pay attention to when you start to feel that swirly clutter in your brain. Dump the clutter out. Download the clutter and write it down. All the things. No matter how many notebooks and pens, get it all out so you can look at it, sort it, and deal with it. Now, that's such a, like, oh, all you need to do is write the book, you know. Trust me, I know it's not as simple as that, but that's the process. And if you follow that process, every single time I'm on a one-on-one client call, and we do that process, because when you work with me, the calls are not just, they are very kind of hands-on, that I teach you literally hand. I say, put your hand on a pen. I'm left-handed, so I go like this. And hands-on. Put your hands on a pen, put your pen on the paper, and start to do the automatic writing. Channel it out. Get it out of there. See what's up. Okay? And part of that, and they always say, oh my God, that feels so much better. I feel less cluttered in my brain. I have so much more clarity. This feels doable. I can do this. Who doesn't want to share something with somebody who shares them to do that? So yes, my coaching also helps you unclutter your brain. Okay, there we go. Catherine picked up on my Grease reference. Yeah, ooh, look at me. Look at me. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm the dog, the cat. Yes, I am full. As you know, Catherine, my pop culture references, they are just the way I communicate with my people, because if you get it, you get it. Like Catherine, you and I are knowing, tell me more, did he get very far? Tell me more, does he have a car? I know it in context. Not when trust me, I'm not a, what do you call that thing? Like I wasn't a theater kid or anything, but boy, do I know some of that stuff. So, all right, enough about me, yada yada. All right, okay, there we go. Get ready for the spaghetti analogy. Right, you dump the spaghetti. The spaghetti thoughts are dumped, strain them. I literally have a list. I will share this with you. When I have my own couple of places that I write down the thoughts in my head. I will share this with you. One place is my workbook, my kind of breeze blocking book, as I like to call it. When I'm at when I'm at my desk, I will write these things down. I literally was writing this down. This is my list of things to do today before I pack to go on 5 or 6 days of vacation. Got them out of my head, and I'm gonna give myself a little dopamine hit. I'm gonna give you I'm just having fun today, so roll with me. Dopamine hits. I think of them as like these little Hershey's Kisses. Here. You know, do something good, have a treat. Do something good, have a treat. I have to do this video. I bought these specifically to do a video about dopamine milking. What am I calling it? Like milking your actions for the most dopamine ever. ADHD people will know what I'm talking about. And even if you don't, it's like how to chunk things down and make them easy so you want to do it. And so I bought these Hershey's Kisses for that. I keep on eating them, and I realized at a certain point, and I gave some to my sister and her family when I was visiting, I got to do this video today or I'm going to eat all these things. I inadvertently ate a Hershey's, not a Hershey's Kiss, a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup when I was coaching earlier this morning, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I might have just eaten one of the props. Oh well, I would just have to buy new ones. Anyhow, get the thoughts out of your head, strain out that spaghetti. I have a place I write it down when I'm here and when I'm on my phone or on my computer. I use this app called Trello, and there's just a bunch of lists on it. And one of my lists is literally called, actually, let me make sure I say it's called Calendar Your Colander. Now, this is just me. This is something that never made it to my coaching because it's a little bit too abstract. But what it is basically, if you think about it, you take your spaghetti thoughts, you dump them down, you dump spaghetti into a colander. Right, a strainer, but we call it a colander where I'm from. And then once you dump it out, then you can pick each out thought and you can say, okay, what's up with this? Each thought is kind of just a line of words in your head. But when it's spaghetti-like, they get all tangly-wangly. Wangosy tango, okay? So dump them out, sort them out, and then you're going to be much more easy. It's going to be much more easy for you to figure out what the next step is. And you can't take a next step until you know where you're going, which is your destination. Okay. Thank you. Barbara Dean is saying, me too. And enough of being in charge. I like the size of your endeavor like it is. As do I, my dear. As do I. I love, after working for people for decades, after being under other people's obligations, this is such a fun part of my life to be like, ooh, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try being a coach. I'm going to try being a coach this way. I'm going to try this. What do I want to happen? That's my thing. What do I want to happen? If I were a coach, I would want to do this, that, and the other thing. I wrote them down and I said, well, I'll give it a shot. So far it's working. And not just working for my clients, but working for me. Because I love it so much, I show up more. Okay, again, enough about me and coaching. I want to help you. Okay, there we go. Kristen is trying to learn Trello. Trello, I'll give you a real quick thing, okay, is don't overcomplicate it. Everybody. I can't remember who it was. It was one of my one-on-one clients saying, I'm getting stuck because I'm overthinking things. Here is probably the number one tool in my toolkit that I love to share is think of the opposite. On the one hand, if you've got the one hand, there's always going to be the other hand. If on the one hand, overthinking it keeps you stuck, what's going to get you unstuck? This is what underthinking. Don't overcomplicate things. Undercomplicate things. Make things simple. A lot of things, I bet your cell phone is like this, has so many more bells and whistles than we ever need. We use the same, at least the way I use my phone, I use it for the same things over and over again. Trello has a F-ton of bells and whistles that I never use. I pretty much use it for list making and list coordinating and kind of organizing my thoughts. So, if it feels good, like maybe that's a thing I'll do with the people on the TikTok on the Destination Decluttered mailing list. If you're on the mailing list if you're on the mailing list, you know how to get in touch with me. Shoot me an email and say, yes, I'd like to learn more about Trello. Now, it's not like I don't get paid for that, but sometimes I do workshops. So if you're interested in, I can easily do a tutorial, a workshop about Trello. That would be fun. Notice I say that would be fun, and I'd show up and do it, and we'd make it fun. Okay? So, all right. So Gina Bello O'Hara is saying, I'm a hoarder, and I need to clean out and get rid of stuff. Okay. Now, Sue Ann is saying, I have too many collections. And Kristen is also saying, I need to have a master area for random notes. Yes, that's what this is right here. And Kristen is saying, would love a Trello workshop. Okay. Make sure you're on the mailing list. Get on the mailing list. You'll know how to get in touch with me and send me that email. I may not remember it with all the stuff that's going on here, but you can take the next step to make something you want to happen. You want a Trello workshop to happen? All you need to do is send me an email, and it's going to increase the likelihood that it's going to happen. Now, Gina, hoarding. Let's talk about declutter and hoarding, everybody. Hoarding and hoarders and being a hoarder is a phrase and a terminology that is kind of bandied about on TV, and people claim they're a hoarder. I am not saying that you are one or not one. It is not my position. This is not my place to decide or diagnose. I am not a licensed mental health professional. I am a certified life coach with a wicked lot of experience in helping people with clutter and ADHD, people with clutter. What I will say is this, is if you think you are a true hoarder, there's a way to find out if you are. I had a friend, Freudian slip, a person I coach who was afraid she was a hoarder. I had a person who was afraid she had depression. She didn't know, but what's the opposite of not knowing is finding out. So if you're afraid that you're a hoarder and you're not sure if you are one, there are ways that you can get some mental health help to even just diagnose it. And if you are, then that is a really important road for you to take to get to where you want to go to, because the mental health professionals can help you. Now, maybe you're just calling yourself a hoarder because you have a wicked lot of stuff. That may be something I can help you with. But please, this is what I say. There is help out there for everybody. There is help out there for all of us. Whatever we struggle with, whatever you struggle with, there is somebody out there who can help you. Now, I may not be the right fit for everybody, okay? I know I'm not the right fit for everybody. But I want to make sure before we ever get into a situation where we might get into a coaching situation and I'm out over my head, or you aren't getting the help you need to make the progress you want, that's why I do a consultation, a free conversation on Zoom, finding out what's jamming you up clutter-wise, seeing if it's something I can help with, And then if it's something I can help you with, then if you're interested, I tell you about what coaching is like. I answer every single question you have about coaching so that you have all the information, you have no questions, you have all the information to make a decision that feels right to you. Okay? And then we start to be coaches, and it's awesome, and I love it, and let's do it, okay? Okay. Okay. So, Mara P is saying, I go into the Container Store and hyperventilate. How do you know what to buy, Mara? This is how you know what to buy. And I will share with you. As a professional organizer and certified life coach and decluttering life coach expert, yada, yada, I too get wicked overwhelmed going there unless, and this is the writing it down, you are going into the Container Store because your brain is suggesting that you buy something to solve a clutter problem, right? You might be just going to look around and see what they have. That's different. When you know specifically what you are going in there to get, that's when you can focus and look and put the blinders on to get what you want and get the heck out of there. I get overwhelmed a lot because I don't do much shopping anymore for stuff. My husband loves to do the grocery shopping, so I let him do it. And then I will, go. I usually do like the Target run or something. But there's so much to be overwhelmed by that it's important to practice focusing. So make yourself a list. Decide what you want to go there to get. See if they have it. Go online. See if they even have what you want before you go in. And then write it down. Even if it means like clutching, the note in your mind, in your hand so you don't forget it. And say, this is what I'm looking for. Find it and get out of there. Hyperventilating. Calming down the nervous system. Making a list. Checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Notice the hyperventilation, the anxiety, the feeling of anxiety. Let's do away with that. My coaching teaches you that. Look at me, my coaching, but I help you with that. How's that? I can help you with the anxious feeling you feel when you think of decluttering or try to solve problems. I live in this space. I swim in the decluttering pool, and I think the water is awesome. And I'm like, come on in. I can help you. If you're afraid you're going to drown, I give you one of those little dinghies, a little life raft thing. Okay? Do not hyperventilate. Okay? I love it. Who was it who just says, Stephanie, love it. Measure your drawer with wax paper so you know what size containers to get. What a great idea. Really cool idea. We are here to help each other. As I said, there's help out there. Gotta run. Got it. I take a lot of measurements. Catherine says I go in and measure things. Yes. There's help out there, and we're even helping each other. That's the wonderful thing I love about doing these TikTok lives is we are all here helping each other. Okay. It's funny. So I got a couple of people signed up for the mailing list already. Cool. Just making sure it works. What else do we have here? Measuring your drawers. Tammy ENC says, I have to mission shop. Ooh, I like that term, mission shops. I'm on a mission. I am focused on a mission. I'm on a mission. What is it? Oh my God, see, this is my Gen X brain. Blues Brothers. We're on a mission from God, right? And he's got that, what is that Midwestern, that Chicago accent. We're on a mission from God. I have to mission shop for containers to stay focused and be specific for IRS purpose. Yeah. So notice that. Focus, specific, mission. Destination is what I call it. Because destination reminds me of road trips and travel. You're here, you want to go there. What do you need to do to get there? I just checked into a flight between coaching sessions. There are baby steps all along the way to get you to where you want to go. Yeah, somebody's drowning? No. I teach you how to swim and be okay with the decluttering. We go into the deep end of the pool. That's the life coaching part. But then we paddle around in the shallow end, being like, okay, here's the easy stuff. Let's practice with the easy stuff. Yes, no anxiety coaching, priceless. Yeah. Can you imagine? I can imagine. I don't even have to imagine because I will share this with you. True, complete disclosure. I was hanging out with my mother this weekend because I was decluttering her home for the umpteenth time, but I love her. And so I just do it because it's my love language. She said this word that just like this phrase that I was like, yeah, talk about truth. My mother said, I think I was born a nervous wreck. My mother, that nervous wreck is just a phrase that I have heard all my life. And I kind of looked at her and I was like, yeah, I think you were. So I was brought up by somebody who was born a nervous wreck. I was brought up to be a nervous wreck. Anxiety all over the place. It has taken me until being in my 50s to really have a wonderful balance where I have learned to manage the anxiety, minimize the anxiety, and increase the delight and calm. Now the anxiety is barely a blip on my radar, and when it happens, I know how to deal with it. Even just knowing that I have the tools to deal with it if it comes up makes me even more relaxed, and then the anxiety rarely flares up. This is what coaching helped me do. I love this feeling so much. It's why I got into coaching, because I'm like, oh, this feels so much better. I also will say this, being my age, I know what one side is like. I know what it's like to not feel, to be cluttered, to be anxious, to be afraid, to be overwhelmed, to be scared, to be sad, to be lost. I lived all of that. Lived, Dottie, lived. Then I did some things, some easy things, some scary things. I took baby steps. I got lost, I got help, I got found again. I practiced, I screwed up. I got up, I got knocked down, I got back up again, all that. And incrementally on this journey, I have gotten to a place where I can say, without makeup or a shower or being on this, that I freaking love how my life looks and feels and functions, what I do, how I do it, who, what, when, where, and why, the all of it. It feels so good. And I can almost guarantee that I have so much more of an appreciation of how good things are because of where I came from. People who have always been attractive or rich or organized don't get the same satisfaction of going from this to this that those of us who weren't that and we made it through the rain, as Barry Manilow would say. We went through the journey and you're like, you know what? This feels extra better. It's like being cold. When you are cold, and then you feel warmth, the warmth feels extra better. Okay? So that's why I got into coaching. That's why I'm showing up on this TikTok Live. Okay, again, just trying to introduce myself so you know who I am. And if you like what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, you follow me here on TikTok, you get on the mailing list, you do what feels good to you. But I'm here for you if you're picking up what I'm putting down and you're resonating, if you're feeling a connection. Totally cool. All right. So Gina is saying, I don't know how to put the stuff away in my room organization-wise. I have too much things. Okay, here's what I want to offer to everybody. Thank you for bringing this up, Gina. Decluttering comes before organization. Before you buy anything at the Container Store to solve your problem, I want you to do this first. And here, write this down. I joke that if all of these little catchy sayings that I have were embroidered on pillows, there would be no place to sit on my couch because I'd have so many embroidered pillows with sayings. And it's not, you're never too rich or too thin. That's one I grew up with. A neighbor had that one. I will never forget it. Talk about something to jam up your young mind. What I want to offer you this, little quote marks. You gotta sort it before you store it. Organization is storing. Organization, in my process, is finding a home for the things you have decided to keep. You have made a conscious decision, a conscious decision that this is something I want. This collection of stuff is stuff that I've decided to keep. And because I've decided where to keep it, now I have a better idea of how much I have, where I want it in my home, and then, only then, is it going to be where is a better place for it to live than right where it is now. But please, oh please, oh please, like James Brown would say, sort before you store. Do not worry. You're just going to jam yourself up if you're trying to create. You don't know what size container to get because you don't know what you're putting in it. Okay? I hope it. Yep. There we go. Gina, notice the overwhelm. Overwhelm. Opposite is calm. Calm down. Oh, this is funny. This is the new, and trust me, this is not like, oh, now I can go into an infomercial. See this mug I made for myself? There's only one of them on the world. It's right here. It says slow down, breathe down, write down, and chunk down. I like to call it all the downs. When you are overwhelmed, in over your head, drowning, head above water, hyperventilating, not enough, I can't breathe. I want you to take a deep breath and breathe down into your lungs. I want you to slow down, even just your movements, a little Tai Chi action, I guess, I don't know. Calm down your nervous system. Quiet down your voice. Anything that's down and small, chunk it down while continuing to breathe and slow down. I'm not even overwhelmed, and this feels better. It's almost like when you when your dog or your cat gets its hackles up, zing, you can calm it down. Nothing wrong here. Pet it down. When you feel better, then you're going to do better. This is how you can overcome the overwhelm. Chunk it down. Think of over, the opposite is down. Think of stuck, moving. All the opposites. I think that is such a fun way to even just play with these concepts, because there's always that yin and yang. There's the one side of the coin to the other. As J.V. Jones once said to Marsha Brady, how about the flip side? Okay? There we go. Annalisa says, I finally became an adult and make returns now. Ooh, check that out. That is one way of decluttering. I'm just saying, if you've bought something recently and you still have the receipt and you're within the window of time to return stuff, return your items and get some money back. Get a credit. I did that. I have some gift cards from Staples and stuff that I thought I was going to use these pens right here. I bought a bunch of them, and then I realized because I'm left-handed they get smudgy. I returned the ones that hadn't been opened. Then I bought these ones that work really well. All right. There we go. Sort it before you store it. There we go. There we go. Gina says, I tell myself I don't want to be like this way in my 80s as a form of motivation to start. Yes, because your 80s are coming up whether you like it or not. And it's funny. I must have had some caffeine this morning because my brain is just kind of bopping all over the place, but I think it's fun. So I'll share it with you. We have a musician friend. We have many musician friends. My husband is a musician. Most of our friends are musicians. Who's always like, the 80s. The 80s are back. I hope he is alive long enough to be able to say that when he's in his 80s. Okay? It's just kind of funny. But your 80s are going to come whether you want to or not. What kind of person do you want to be in your 80s? Start being that person today. Okay? There we go. All right, let me just scoot back here. I don't know where to start. Somebody, just start anywhere. Yeah, start with the easy stuff. There's a couple ways you can start. There's many ways you can start. There's no wrong way. Starting is the most important part. Start with the surface clutter. Start with this, the trash, the stuff that doesn't belong. What you'll realize is that when you have stuff that you have up on surfaces, the reason it's probably on a surface might be because you don't have any room in your storage. Then you'll say, I can't put these things away until I deal with my storage. Then, only then, please do not even try to start with your sentimental items until you have worked through those other things. Until you have gotten practice, you've built your I can do it muscle with the surface and the storage, and then deal with your sentimental stuff. You'll be better prepared for that part of the road trip journey, okay? Start with the easy things. Then when things get rough, you're going to be better prepared with it, okay? I love it. Jellytoe777 says, I gutted my house 4 years ago, and it is so freeing. Free, light, calm, fresh, peaceful, organized, simple, easy. Who wouldn't want to use more of those words to describe their lives and their houses? Okay? Yeah, I want that. Yeah, good morning, Gina. I needed a swim coach. I'm not a good swimmer, but I can use the metaphor like nobody's business. Yep. Here we go. All sorts of good stuff. How can I help you? Let me see. Decluttering is the biggest dopamine hits for me. Yeah, isn't it great? I love it. Oh, interesting. Letting clutter build so you can declutter. See, I like to just have it be decluttered all the time. I walk into my house. I was away for the weekend helping my mother. I walked into this house and I'm like, and I swear it felt extra better because I was surrounded by her chaos this weekend. I walk into my house. Talk about how you want your home to look and feel and function. It looks good, feels awesome, and I know where everything is. That's all I need. Okay? How can we help it? Yep, stop shopping. The 80s were the best. Uh huh. What do we have? There we go. Oh, awesome. So Grandma 21 is saying, thank you for helping me get through moving. Listened to you, helped me not get overwhelmed at all. Do you see why I do what I do? I don't even know Grandma 21, and I helped somebody not feel overwhelmed, so their moving felt easier. More of this, please. Talk about a dopamine hit. Thank you for sharing that with me, Grandma. I show up, I help you. You tell me I'm helping. I feel good. I show up to help more people. There we go. Sue Ann, I love it. I only say this because I have a client I'm going to meet tonight. Sue Ann is saying, I've returned a bunch of Ray Dunn stuff. I have a client that a couple of months ago realized she was over the Ray Dunn and returned a lot of her stuff too. I think as my trust me, you think I have a collection of wacky sayings that I use all the time? I come from a family of sayings. So when the Ray Dunn stuff, it's like, yeah, the bloom is off the rose with that one. Like I loved it and now not so much. It happens. I'm a collector. I know these things. I have collected many things in my life and I know it's fun until it isn't. And then I know how to deal with it. Okay. Stopping and shopping, little black dog. Stop shopping. Sounds good. I heard that from a client today, actually. She said one of the things was I went into a store to get something specific, and one of the really powerful things was, she says, and I didn't buy a lot of crap while I was there. I went in with a mission, I bought the thing, and then I left, so I didn't add to my clutter. Yes, and Ruthie, every little bit makes a difference. Hell's to the yeah, that's why. Oh my God, I have some stickers made up that says every little bit helps. That's what I tell myself when I go to my mother's house or when I look around our basement. No matter what I do here, if I'm decluttering and getting rid of stuff we don't need and organizing what is left over, that helps. Even if I'm not done yet, I am further along than when I started. Okay? Yeah, there you go. I started my most frustrating daily spot. What's bugging you the most? And saying to yourself, if something bugs me, I can do something about it. I love it. Okay? Okay, Linnea Wren, I'm going to help you with this, okay? I'm in constant severe pain and my meds have overwhelmed me, literally sleeping in a room of trash. There is help out there for you. I may not be the help, but maybe what I am is unlike the monkeys, I am your stepping stone. It sounds like you need to get some help with your physical pain, because when you don't feel good, you're not doing good. When you don't feel well, you're not doing well. So what can you do to help yourself feel better? I feel so bad that you are in severe pain. If your meds are overwhelming me, you can do something about that. What can you do about it? Is there somebody who can help you if you're feeling overwhelmed? If you are literally sleeping in a room of trash, who can help you move the trash out? There's help out there. Even me telling you there's help out there will have your brain looking for the help. Okay? I'm sorry you're in pain. And that sucks that you're sleeping in a room of trash. You deserve better. You deserve not to be in pain. There are steps that can happen, okay? So I'm planting a seed and I'm sending it out to the universe to send you help, okay? Look for the helpers. As Mr. Rogers would say, the helpers are there. I am a Mr. Rogers helper. But I may not be, I can't go, with the pain meds and move your trash, but there are people in your life that can help. Even if you don't know them yet, they're out there, okay? Interesting. GGX 2000 is saying, I know I have cardigans and t-shirts. But I'm still shopping online instead of shopping in my closet. All right. Notice what you're doing. You noticed it enough to say, hey, notice what I'm doing. Ask yourself why. Not judgmenty why, curious why, right? Why am I shopping online instead of in my closet? I will share with you, this is surprising me. Full disclosure, I have a bunch of cardigans and 2 totes in this closet right here, right? I've had them for years. I used to be a t-shirt and cardigan person. I used to wear cardigans when I was in my work job, like I had to get dressed up job. My menopausal female body has gained weight. I have bigger arms than I ever have. So I know that I am not wearing the cardigans in there because I did the other day. I can't remember what I was doing. And I was like, this is so weird. I feel like the same person. And I was like, oh, my sweater feels tight. Yeah, because there's a couple more pounds over here. Okay? That's one of the reasons I'm not wearing my cardigans. Or if I do, they just fit different. I'm endeavoring to love my body, however it is. And maybe I'll fit into those other ones, or maybe I'll get comfortable with them. But I asked myself, why am I not wearing those cardigans? And yeah, they don't fit me currently. I'm not going to judge myself about it. I'm just going to notice that and take that info and say, okay, noted. What do you want to do with it? Now, my cardigans aren't taking up too much room. And I've been wearing, kind of post-COVID. It's post-COVID too. All the kind of things. Get curious why you're not shopping in your closet. Get curious. Ask yourself a question. Listen for the answer. Ask yourself a question. Listen for the answer. I show up in coaching mainly to just give you the question to ask yourself, and then I shut the F up, and you listen for your answer, because that is so much more powerful. An internal answer is always going to be better than an external one. Okay? Lynn is saying, almost all of my clutter is paper. Oh my gosh, I love helping with paper clutter. I really do. Because paper clutter there is a certain category of paper clutter that's sentimental, but so much of it is just really just like 8.5 by 11 pieces of stuff that you have to do. Now, the feeling of having to do things and overwhelm and fear and not having a process and taxes and bills to pay and money, that brings up a lot of feelings. That's why I am a certified life coach, because I know how to deal with those things when they come up. However, get curious as to what papers you have and why you've kept them. Curiosity, you guys. Asking questions. The question mark going from the question mark to the period is a real kind of fun journey. Okay? I love it. Just Michelle says, a friend invited me to go with her to the Container Store, and I said, nah, not till the purge is done. Yeah. Then you'll know if what you need there, you shop to solve problems. That's what I do. If I need something specific to solve a problem, I know what to get and I'll go and get it. Okay? Everybody's got their own process. Who was it who just said this? Gina is sharing. My neighbor throws away everything in her garage, and her son comes twice a year and throws her stuff away. You see, Gen Xers, we are the meat in the sandwich, okay? We are the tasty stuff in the sandwich. We have the older generation above us who have certain thoughts and feelings and hanging on to clutter. Then there's us with our own clutter after decades of living. And then there's this other generation on the other end who is kind of trying to figure out what they want to do. When you figure out what you want to do with your clutter, it's more easy to help other people, okay? Lynn, you could have executive function disorder. If you think you have it, what does that mean to you? If you don't think you have it, what does that mean? Now, I will, again, be completely 100% transparent. I have ADHD and mental illness that runs in my family. I do. I'm not ashamed to say that because I know so many of my clients and so many people that I've met here, wonderful, creative, awesome people that I've met through TikTok. Everybody's brain is wired differently. That's how I look at it. Labels can help, but labels can hurt. What I say is pay attention to how your brain works the best and do more of that stuff. But also, this is where coaching comes in. Pay attention to where your brain isn't as good at some things and create systems and processes to get the results you want using the brain you have. That's what I've done. You've heard me bopping around from thing to thing. My brain works quicker than my mouth or my hands. And I go from, James Brown to Mrs. Jean on TV to singing a song to writing things down to listening to my husband cough in the other room to saying hey to you and saying sign up. All this stuff. Somebody would be like, whoa, she has ADHD. I may, but you know what? I don't let it affect my life. I have found a way to live that works with my brain, loving my brain. The good stuff it does, I love what it does. We do more of it. The stuff that it's not so good at, I get help with it. And holy frajolies, does it feel so much better knowing how to work with yourself as opposed to fighting against yourself and wishing you could be different and you're not. Okay? Mary is saying, 66 here, started taking pictures of things and asked my kids, would you like this? And no, out it goes. Mary, great, great, great idea. What a wonderful process. I wish, my mother has pretty much said that to us. But yes, if you have stuff and you think somebody else might want it, take a picture. Take a picture, it'll last longer. Take a picture, send it to them. Would you like this thing? Allow them to say no. And if they say no, you don't want it either because you wouldn't be giving it to them. Where's the next step? Okay. Linnea Wren is saying, I'm too ashamed to show anyone. Notice. This is my word, notice. You have shame on the one hand. Shame, sadness, stuck, judgment, fear of judgment, fear of being judged. I'm afraid. I'm too ashamed. My shame is going to keep you stuck. The opposite of shame. I'm shameless. I have no shame. Like, people say shameless plug. Yeah, I have no shame in telling you that I'm a life coach and I do paid one-on-one life coaching. I'm not shameful of that at all because I feel good about it. If I felt weird about it, I might be like, oh, don't worry. Yeah, I kind of do this, whatever. Notice you have a feeling that's keeping you stuck. Your fear of judgment. There are ways to get to the other side of that when you don't feel as ashamed. We're all in this together. Oh, there's also over 150 people right here on this random TikTok. We're all here because of clutter. You're with your people. We are all in different areas of our journey. I too am still figuring out my clutter stuff, but I am thousands of miles closer to my destination. And the destination, you kind of never really get there, but that helps you decide what you want to feel like. I have got to my destination and I'm still working on my own stuff. We all are. You're not alone. Don't feel ashamed. The feeling of shame keeps you stuck and not doing something. If you didn't feel shame, what would you do? Maybe you would show somebody. You might even just get the help you need. And get the help from people who are not judgy. Don't go to judgy people. They'll just judge you and that feels like crap. Okay? Ruthie says, I love your brain as I am the same. There you go. You see, I love this. Cindy Rose is saying, and this is what I think of, I have self-labeled myself as ADHD and can get stuck in that excuse rather than working with it. Yeah, I like how you describe creating systems that work with your brain. Yes, because I grew up, look at me. I am a female in a patriarchal society. I am a left-handed female in a right-handed male-dominated society. I have blonde, short brown hair and glasses where women are supposed to be blonde and slim and all that kind of stuff. I know what it's like to see the world from a different perspective. And for decades, feeling not good about who I was. Now, I'm so much more easily loving who I am that things become easier. Because I say, yeah, you know what? How you do that doesn't work for me. What works for me is this. I created a system that worked for me, and I thought, ooh, maybe this will help somebody else. And I've tried it out with some family, and I've tried it out with some friends, and they've tweaked it and given me feedback, and it made it better. I'm always making it better. Even today, I was trying out different things. I love to create, and I love to make things better. And the better coach, well, the funny thing is the better of a coach I become, the more expensive my rates are. So if you think about it, if you want to be my client, this is the cheapest I will ever be. This is the youngest I will ever be today. Right now, I'm older than I was. What's that song by the Byrds? I'm older than that now or whatever. I'm older than I was an hour ago. As are you. We are going through life. The only thing we don't get back is time. But my coaching is the least expensive it will ever be, at least the one-on-one coaching. I may offer other things at some point. I don't know. So if you're concerned about the money, if you want to be one of my clients, just think about that. If I delay getting help, it may cost more. A thing. But also, if I delay, I will be older. I will have missed this opportunity to have lived in March of 2024 in a world that feels good to me, in a home that feels good to me. I have just lived longer in one way that doesn't work, and I have not allowed myself even more months of living in a way that feels good. It's a decision only you can make. There we go. So what do we got here? A couple things real quick. Danzil is saying, my garage is a nightmare. What could make it dreamy? Notice I'm playing with the opposites, okay? What's the nightmare about it? What's the opposite of the nightmare is the dream life. Notice that. What would your dream garage look like? How would it look? How would you feel when you were in it? And how would it function? There you go. Write that stuff down. Ask yourself the question. Listen for the answer. I just gave you the question to ask yourself. Instead of giving me the answer, write it down, give you the answer. Yes, and Pam, I love it. If there's a problem, I'll solve it. I am always quoting Vanilla Ice. I kind of wish I wasn't, but that's what happens. Because if you do have a problem, I'll help you solve it. Because if I solve it for you, you miss the opportunity to learn the skill to do it yourself, and then you'll always be relying on me to do it for you. It's kind of like relying on somebody to drive you around as opposed to learning how to drive yourself. Now, talk about, again, full disclosure, I was a big scaredy cat. I grew up anxious, and so I was terrified to learn how to drive. I think it's really funny now that my main metaphor is driving and road tripping and getting on the road, because I knew how much that was jamming me up, and now I know the difference. Okay? Couple of quick things, because I'm only going to be on for like 10 more minutes or so, 9 more minutes, and then I have stuff to do. I got my own stuff to do, as Nancy Spungen would say. Okay, so TikTok Live. I will not be doing another TikTok Live until sometimes next week, because I do this thing, basically it's traveling, but I call it off the digital grid. So you don't expect to see a video from me or a TikTok Live. I always come back though. I do, because I love doing what I'm doing. If you want to know when the next TikTok Lives I'm doing are next week, a couple of ways of doing that. Actually, probably the simplest would be to like my page here, to follow my page. Also, if you know people who are cluttered, let them know that there's help out there. Destination Decluttered. But also, there is a video pinned to the top of my TikTok page that says TikTok Live schedule for March. You will find out the dates and times for those things. If you want to show up, that's where I will be. But the other thing is, as I mentioned, the mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join. That's when you will always know. If you're on that list, you always get sent anything I post here on TikTok, as far as consultation slots that are available on my calendar, or TikTok Live dates or workshops, like a Trello workshop, as I mentioned, kind of up thread. You will always know about those before anybody on TikTok. I always give the good stuff to the people on the mailing list first. The stickers I was talking about, all that kind of good stuff. Destinationdecluttered.com/join. All you need to put on your email, and you will get an automatic email. The next one that's going to go out, that's more personal, not personal, but that I've created, that's just not the one that's kind of triggered by the thing, is going to be next week, because then I'll be looking into the first week of April. You guys, April is just around the corner. Spring cleaning, summer, change of seasons. Just noting that this is often the time where decluttering gets in everybody's minds. So lastly, if you do want me to be your one-on-one coach, a phrase from my family: first out, best dressed. When there wasn't enough nice clothing for everybody in the family, the first one out got the best pick of the clothing. My grandmother was one of 7 girls? So that's probably where that came from. First out, best dressed. The sooner you become my client, the sooner you get first dibs. I always like to say first dibs, because we used to use it as kids. You get first dibs on the slots that are available. You get the most flexibility. You get to choose. You get your choice of the coaching slots I have available. If somebody gets there before you and takes that one, that's how that goes. So just notice these things. You have some things you can do. This is what I'm just giving you some concrete things about if you want to work with me on different varieties of things. Okay. Here's an interesting thing. Ruthie, thank you for mentioning us. Today is the first day of spring. Spring has sprung. The grass has riz. I wonder where the birdies is. My mother texted that to me 3 days ago. This is just how our family, our brains work. Puts a smile on my face. And yeah, today's the first day of spring. Are you where you wanted to be at the beginning of winter? You had an idea maybe of what you wanted your home to look and feel and function like. Winter has now ended. Spring is beginning. Right here, does your home look and feel and function like you want it to? Now, if the answer is no, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about what you didn't do. Say, I have the opportunity today to do something different, so that when spring turns to summer in just a couple of months, I'm always thinking June 21st, but it might be plus or minus a day. How do you want your home to look and feel when summer starts? I ask the question, you ask the question to you listen for your answer. I'm like, I got 2 pens here, write it down. If you're stuck and you don't know what to do clutter-wise, you now know that there's help out there. You know that there's somebody out there who does this all the freaking time and loves it and makes it fun and makes it simple and teaches you how to do it, so you're not always going to be reliant on me. I've structured my coaching to empower you, to give you skills, to teach you skills. I give you skills, I give you training, I give you an opportunity to play with these skills during a coaching session. We work on these things together, and I'm there to support you. Also, accountability. If you need somebody, if you're like, all I need is to have somebody kind of keep me accountable, that practices your external accountability can help you practice your internal accountability. Okay? It's just kind of fun. I do what I can in the time that I have here on TikTok to help you, but notice I can only get to so many people, and I can only answer your questions on just such a superficial level. Okay? With the coaching, it's pretty simple. I think somebody's saying, how does this work? And I'm not sure. It might be this, but I want to just wrap up. My coaching is you sign up for a consultation. We meet on Zoom, totally cash. You show up, I show up, we have a convo. If coaching seems right to you, I say, cool, this is how much it costs, this is what we do. It's a 10-week package. A little present of 10 weeks, or 10 sessions really, because we could spread them out. After you do, the first package is usually once a week for an hour on Zoom on the same date and time. So we get a little bit of rhythm going. And then every week we show up for you. What you did well, the progress you're making, we cheer that on. Yay! The roadblocks you hit, we get curious. Ooh, what happened back there? What could we do different? What can you do different if a roadblock like that comes up again? Here's a tool to use the next time you get to that, to move that roadblock aside and continue your road, your destination, your road trip towards that destination. And I will say this. If it were boring, I would not do it. I make it fun. Even the unfun stuff of decluttering, I know it's not all fun, but I endeavor to make it fun, because when it's fun, you're more likely to show up and do the things, right? Maybe that's my ADHD. It's like, if it's not fun, I'm not getting it done. But if it is fun, I'll get it done. Maybe that sounds resonating with you? Okay. I love it. Michelle is saying, thank you so much for helping us to reprogram our brains and unlearn generational habits. You are welcome. That's fancy language and I love it, but thank you. I come down to, when you think better, you feel better. When you feel better, you do better. So if you're not thinking good or feeling good or doing good, how can we get you onto the other side, the flip side? I know how to get you from that one side to the other. I can take you on that journey, and it's fun. What can you think better? When you think better, you feel better. And when you feel better, you do better. Okay? Yay, Kimberly signed up. There we go. All excited for my help. There we go. Well, I've got 1 minute, and then I'm going to head out. I got stuff to do today, and I know you do too. Oh my God. We'll have things you'll want to talk about. I will too. I am totally channeling Mr. Rogers. I used to wear a cardigan. I guess this is my version of the Mr. Rogers cardigan. I'm here to help you. Mr. Rogers said, look for the helpers. When you're stuck and scared and you don't know what to do, look for the helpers. I am showing up in your life as a Mr. Rogers helper. If you are stuck and overwhelmed and afraid and don't know what to do with clutter, I can help you with that. I am here to help you with that, okay? Yeah, there we go. Hope it helps. And hope to see you next week. I can't remember what day I'm doing it, but you can look and I'll look. We'll figure it out. I'm going to get my stuff done. Notice what I did. I wrote down the things I wanted to do. I'm going to get them done. I'm going to do it at a pace that feels good to me. I'm going to chunk it down. I'm going to feel a sense of accomplishment. I'm going to pack my bags and then go on a fun vacation. I will say this really quickly. If anybody happens to be at Epcot Center in Orlando, Disney, for the next 4 or 5 or 6 days, I will be down there. So if you see somebody walking around Epcot who kind of looks like me, it probably is me. My husband's in one of the bands that's playing there at the American Pavilion or something. So if you just randomly happen to be in Epcot, or if you know anybody who is, keep a lookout and say, hey, say I saw you on TikTok, okay? There we go. All right. Awesome to hang out with you guys. And you got this. You can do it. Do what you can do, and what you struggle with, get help. And that's how you move forward to creating a life you love. Okay? I got to go now. I'll see you. Bye. Boop. Boop. There we go. Boop. 4 times the charm.